What's up, everybody? We back here on the couch, the infamous black couch known as Couch Confessions. Today, I have a great honor of having my boy, one of my clients, Ace Boon Coon, Mr. Dave Onama of the UFC.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, bro.
I appreciate you coming out, man, with me on the couch, the infamous couch. And so, man, I want to know right off the jump. You're born and raised KC. As far as background, as far as athletic, you super athletic.
Yeah.
But what got you into the fight game?
Man, really, man, the fight game chose me, just growing up, just watching like a lot of like the combat sports, man. I was all into like, combat sports, just, I just love competing, growing up. I love competing, did a lot of sports, just growing up, but I feel like fighting was something that I had, passion in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, that's always something that I wanted to do was get into like a combat sport,
Right. What
and
what kind of got you there? You say you lost it growing up. See, I ain't gonna lie, I know shit about MMA until
yeah,
2013. Over Will Shields' spot.
yeah,
Shout out Will Shields. Used to train me, cool as hell.
yeah,
Mentor, good dude. And I saw these fighters coming in and out.
yeah,
I'm like, dang, they had a cage in the back and everything. So I'm like, man, I was at the time playing ball overseas, so I ain't know nothing about what was going on. I'm hearing all this boom, boom, boom.
yeah.
So I'm like, what got you into that? You know what I'm saying?
Man, so like I honestly started like in school.
Yeah.
I've been bullied. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
from here, so like, just been bullied in school, and my thing is like, how do I
Channel
like
that
defend
energy, that
myself? Like,
emotion.
yeah, like how do I defend myself?
Right.
Going to school not knowing how to, speak English, new to the state, so it was kind of hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just a kid that
Right.
don't speak English, going to school like that, being bullied,
Right.
being frustrated. My thing is like, how do I, come to school and not have to deal
Right.
with this? So I was like, you know what, I need to start, doing something to
Right.
where
Right.
I have to like defend myself, and like I said, growing up, I love combat sports, like karate, boxing, like UFC, like all those stuff. That's as a kid, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do. So as I got older, I was like, you know what, this is what I have to do now because
Mm-hmm.
I'm being bullied,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I just
I
couldn't
mean,
take
that's
it
a
no
that's
more.
a unique way to channel your energy and channel your inner you because I know for me personally, growing up like that, I didn't know, my parents, I grew up in the hood and stuff,
Yeah,
and it was tough because, middle school, elementary, I faced some of that elementary as far as being bullied and stuff.
yeah,
As you get older, you figure out how to channel it, but you channel it the wrong way, and I know I did. I sometimes channeled it the wrong way or took it out on the wrong way and went about things the wrong way, but
yeah,
fortunately, I'm still, here, and uh, it's pretty cool to see that you found your calling, which was MMA,
yeah,
and you went there to get better. You went there to, you know, get better as far as um, defend yourself, and just find a new avenue of what you fell into a sport that you like,
yeah.
and not it sort of started with just bullying, and then it turned into something that
Right,
now you become a up and coming
right.
fighter
Yeah.
as far as the UFC goes, and like as far as your journey, like how did that come about? Cause you go to the dojo, and then what?
Yeah, so like I graduated like 2013, and I
Yeah,
started my career in like 20, I think like 2014,
yeah,
like a year after. Uh, to this day, I remember I was like, I gotta start like finding the MMA gym, and I got on my phone, got on Google, and I looked up like MMA gym, and first thing that popped up was Glory MMA Fitness,
yeah,
and at that time it was Zach Cummins. He
right,
was in the UFC.
right,
Fight for the Ultimate Fighter. So he was popular in KC. He was well known,
mm-hmm,
and I feel like that was the best gym that fits with me.
mm-hmm.
And I remember, man, I was just driving to the gym, like nervous, scared, driving to the gym. I got there,
Man, you gotta be scared. You going to the gym, you probably like, man, I'm like my ass kicked.
man, I was
What am I
scared.
doing?
Yeah, so I get
Shaking and
there.
shit. Like, oh
I get to the gym. Zach Cummings standing right there. I was like, hey, Zach, I told him my name. I was like, hey, Zach, this is what I want to do. Uh, and he signed me up right there, and I signed the waiver, and the next day
Basically, you
I
signed
just
your life to I'm about to get fucked up.
yeah, pretty much.
And I don't know what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm signing my life away to
Man,
whatever happens going to happen. But
yeah, I was with it though.
they
So,
not liable for my damages of getting jacked up in here, right?
yeah. So he signed the waiver, and like the next day I just started training. I trained for like 6 months, and then I took my first amateur fight, and I won that one. And then he was like, "Man, you really good. Like I see potential in you. Like keep doing what you're doing."
Yeah.
And I just kept doing what I was doing because he was in the UFC, and I was
Right.
trying to get to where he was.
Right.
And he was like, "Man, just stay focused. To make it far, to make it far in the sport is you gotta have discipline."
Yeah.
And ever since he told me that, man, I just started training, and just kept training, man. Had like 12 amateur fights, went undefeated, 12-0.
Damn, 12-0 undefeated as an amateur?
That's amateur, man.
Damn.
Yeah, and then
That's tough, bro.
that is.
That means you annihilated everybody in front of you as an amateur. They couldn't deny you being pro.
Nah, cause I was like, man, I took my MMA career like very serious. I took
Correct.
like a kind of like a pro.
Yeah.
You know,
You was already a pro. And that's how it's got to be. You got to carry yourself like a pro as an amateur
that's exactly what I did.
before you become a pro.
Yep. So I was already like, I looked at myself as a pro before I even turned pro.
Right.
Cause that's how you got to look at it. You can't be, oh, I'm an amateur. I mean, you are, but it's best to look at it like you're a pro.
Right.
So I took my, I took my MMA career like very serious, and then I went pro like maybe three years later. I went pro.
UFC?
No, it's just like pro like in the original scenes.
Around here, like Blue Corner?
Yeah, around here.
Yeah.
Went like, I think my pro record was like, before I got signed to the UFC, I think it was maybe like 7, 8-0 before I got to the UFC.
At the pro level?
Yeah, at the pro level.
So how many fights have you fought?
Altogether, like 14 pro.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right now I'm like 12.
14 pro?
Yeah,
And then amateur, 12?
12.
So you got 24 fights?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Crazy.
That's crazy as hell, boy. Hey, you still young as hell.
Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And still, man.
Man gonna have 60 fights. You're like Jim Miller. You know Jim Miller, most UFC fights in UFC history, 50 fights or something.
Yeah, I watched his fight,
Jim-
UFC 300.
Yeah, Jim Miller, good dude. He's also I know he's a good guy. Shout out Jim Miller, man. He's cool as hell, dude. Down to earth, dude.
Yeah, I watched
Out
his
in
fight.
Jersey, he's cool as hell, man.
That's dope.
So you destroy the amateurs.
Yeah,
From the amateurs, you go 7-1.
yeah.
From that, you then what?
From there, that's when I had one more fight in Kansas City, which was for KCFA, and that was like my last fight I had before I got the call to the UFC. So
And tell me about that call. You get that call, you like,
man, that call was.
who called you? Was it Dana?
It was one of my manager, Justin House from Vegas.
Okay.
He called me. He was like, "Hey, man, hold on, let me take it back. I was on vacation after my original fight in KC. Got the call like a week later. I was in Alabama. I was on vacation. And I got the call around like 3, 4 in the morning. And I was out there on vacation.
You turning up, man. You
drinking,
drunk
yeah,
as hell,
drinking.
dog. Man, on the beach, turning up, hitting the
Yeah.
gritty.
Drinking. I was drinking, eating crawfish, all type of shit. And I got the call like 4 a.m. My manager's like, "Hey, bro, I think I might have a fight for you in the UFC." And I didn't even ask who it was. I was like, "Man, what? Let's go."
For real? I bet you was hype as hell, drunk as hell,
bro, I
hype.
was hype. I was like, "Man, let's go. Let's do
At
it."
4 a.m.?
4 a.m.
Boy, you don't never sleep, boy. This man don't never sleep, man. God.
Yeah, it was 4 a.m. And I'm like, "Man, let's do it." Like 6 o'clock, I flew to Vegas, did my medicals, like paperwork, all that, signed my waivers,
Yeah.
and that's when I asked him, I'm like, "Who am I fighting?" He was like, "This guy, his name is Mason Jones." Mason Jones was one of like the best guys like overseas. Like he was fighting for what this promotion called the Warriors, and he was good. He was a champion, like 2-time champ at 155, and I took this fight like upper weight class at 155.
Damn.
Like UFC debut against like a very, very good guy.
You must have just went in there like, shit, let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, man.
Boy, you gonna have all adrenaline. You need one to warm up.
Bro, it was like 4-day notice. Because I got the call like on.
So then what happened? First fight, you in the UFC. I mean, first of all, you there? Was you nervous? I mean, what's butterflies in the stomach? I mean, how was you? You in there like, man, I'm here. Like,
It was
I'm
kinda,
here. First fight.
Yeah, it was. That's literally how I felt. I was like, man, I'm here. This is everything I dream to become.
I bet it's wild as shit, huh?
It's
You in that Bruce
wild,
Buffer there? Ooh, you hear that? It's time,
bro.
all that, huh?
It was crazy. It was one of the best life of my life for real. It was just it was
Bruh,
hard to believe, man. Like
for
just,
real?
yeah, just like damn.
So you
Everything,
you there, you hear it's time, all that shit.
yeah, like everything I worked for, is finally here, and I was like, damn.
Then you
Got,
won. Did you win?
I did. I didn't win. I did not
It
win.
don't matter
It
though,
was
huh?
close. It
Hey,
was a close fight, but I
hey,
thought I won.
I bet you there like I'm in there.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm in here, but it was a close fight, But I feel like,
It's still great that you got that opportunity, first fight.
yeah,
You go in there 4 days notice. You didn't have a full camp.
nah,
See?
literally, man, he's got
Was
in
he
there,
that good?
got my hand wrapped. Oh, he was good, man. Bro, if you watch that fight,
But he was good.
that fight was good. For a short notice, on 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
on a vacation, coming out like that, out of
Yeah.
shape, and taking the fight to decision,
Yeah.
bro. Most people don't do that,
Man.
and like everybody was like, oh, because I was the underdog. Everybody
Yeah.
was like, oh, this kid's gonna beat David in the first round.
Yeah.
In this first round, he was like, I watched the interview. He's like, I'm gonna beat this kid in the first round and take my family on a vacation.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm like, wait, what? You gonna
Yeah.
beat me in the first round and take your family on vacation?
He said that?
Yeah.
Automatically, you all right, let's
I'm
go.
like, man, I'm gonna beat you and get
Yeah,
my ass back
yeah.
to vacation.
You back on the island. Like,
Yeah, bro. So like when I seen him like say that, I was like, oh, bro, it's all I needed to hear. Because sometimes, bro, going to a fight, you gotta have somebody against you
Yeah.
just to kind of motivate you. Like, oh, okay, this guy's against me.
Yeah.
Okay, bet I need that. You can't go in there and be like, oh, everybody's with you. You gotta,
Because you already know, yeah.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta have those, those
A
haters.
little extra,
and-
yeah, a little extra motivation there.
yeah,
Be
it's
somebody's
gonna,
ass.
exactly.
in
It's
there.
gonna make you like, all right, cool. Motherfucker hate me. All right, now I gotta show something.
Yeah. So then, lose the fight, then what?
Yeah, man. So that's my first loss in my career. Like that really hurt me, man. I was like breaking down in the locker room.
Yeah.
I've never lost my life, And I remember my coach was telling me like, this is a part of the journey, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but
Trust me, I lost a lot. Still losing every day. All you can do is keep pushing, though.
all you can do is
Shit.
keep pushing. But
One
yeah,
foot in front of the other. Shit, what else gonna happen?
yeah,
Can't get no worse. All you can keep doing is keep one foot in front of the other and hope for the best, right?
Yeah, I just gotta keep the ball rolling. Man, he just told me that, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
So then after that,
After that, man, I took like a week off. Took a week off and got right back to training. Just working on things that I needed to work on, like losing that fight.
mhm,
It was more like my wrestling.
mhm,
My striking was good, but I got back to training and was just working more like on my grappling, my wrestling. And then I think like a month or 2 months later, I got another opportunity call because I had like a 3-fight contract.
mhm,
So they gave me another call, and that's when I fought Gabriel Benitez,
mhm,
and that's when I TKO'd him, like in the first round.
mhm.
And I feel like that kind of brought my name up.
So when that happened, did Dana and them say anything to you?
Oh yeah, Dana was like, man,
What's Dana like?
Man, Dana was cool. He was cool. That's my first time actually like meeting him in person.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, great fight, man. I watched the UFC debut, and it's at the Apex. He watched me lose at the Apex, and when I knocked out Benitez at the
Damn.
Apex. And then he's like, yo, come to my office. I got a little something for you. So that's when I went to the back, his office. I had like one of his security like walk me to the back with my coach. He's like, man, you look really nice today. Like, you look fantastic. And then he's like, I wanna give you like a 50K bonus. And that's when he threw me like a bonus. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah.
I hit the gritty on that.
That's when I took a picture with him, and I'm like, damn, Dana actually cool, man. Like,
Man, I follow him and some of the stuff he talks about. He's such a businessman, and
oh yeah, for
man,
sure.
I wanna be some. If I could just be in a room with the dude one time to just
Yeah.
pick his brain on shit, because as you get older, you want to be around people like that who are already successful and already know like the ropes to all this stuff and
Right.
how to make stuff flow and connect and
Yeah.
run things like a business, and be very business savvy
Yeah.
and be such a successful mogul such as him in the fight world.
Yeah. For sure. Dana
What
cool.
what now? What's Joe Rogan like? I know you met Joe.
Joe Rogan.
I want to have a podcast like Joe Rogan. Shout out Joe Rogan. I'm trying to get on your level,
Shout
brother.
out to Joe Rogan, man.
I'm trying to get on your level. I'm on the black couch.
Nah,
That man got
Joe
everything.
Rogan, man, Joe Rogan out there, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
UFC commentating, doing all of that. He's been around the UFC for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I even used to watch the show, like Fear Factor.
Mm-hmm.
From growing up,
I used to watch that all the time too.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's Joe. That's when he had hair.
Yeah, just
Shit.
watching his show, and I just never knew that we'll be like in the same,
It's crazy.
business together.
Yeah.
Like, why is Joe Rogan? I used to watch the show.
Man, plus when you see that, you like, man, this dude want to start on. He started with something totally outside the fight game.
Literally.
And then he gets in the fight game, and he's one of the top, voices and podcasts and this and that, and loves the fight world, loves MMA, has a passion for it, and he's a prime example of making his passion become successful.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? People like that, I watch his podcast as well, and you like, man, this dude don't give a shit. He just says what's on his brain,
Oh, yeah,
what's
he
on his
does,
mind.
man.
He don't care. And I look at people like that because when you got similarities, like, cause I don't give a shit what people say about me. At the end of the day, people are gonna talk about you whether you're dead, whether you're alive, whether you do something good, whether you do something bad. So I look at it like you gotta live your life for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how Joe Rogan lives his life. He don't really give a shit.
Nah,
you
just
know.
do him.
Um,
It's like you gotta live though, man. Like you
Yeah.
can't depend on somebody else. End of the day, it's your life. You gotta
Yeah.
live it how you want to live it. And
what is your next goal with the UFC?
Man, my next goal with the UFC is I'm trying to get ranked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get ranked. Yep, trying to hit the ranking. Top 15, top 10.
Right.
And I'm looking like where I'm going now. I feel like I can be in the next top 10, top 15.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my next goal is just, being ranked in the UFC, and just keep doing me and stay focused. Just keep elevating.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm looking at.
So you're looking at like, which is a great way to approach. Look at it as stepping stones.
Yeah.
To eventually you say, okay, I'm ready for a title shot.
Yeah. But the work got to be done. So
You got to build it.
yeah, you got to build the work.
You got to build up to it.
You're not just gonna get a title shot. You just gotta.
Right.
You gotta build it, man. It's because featherweight division is stacked.
Yeah.
It's very stacked. You gotta work.
Your last
man.
opponent was really tough too.
Yeah, last opponent I fought pretty tough. Wrestler. I'm not a wrestler. So
Yeah.
it's me just winning that fight meant a lot to me. Cause going to that fight, a lot of people didn't think I could wrestle.
Right.
A lot of people underestimated me about my wrestling.
Right.
That's really why I took the fight. Was kind of to test myself,
Mm-hmm.
to see where I'm at in the waters.
Mm-hmm.
Against a wrestler. Like, can I wrestle? Like, I took that fight really just to see how my wrestling was. Because you got to take fights like that.
Yeah.
You got to test yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
To
got
see where you at and where you stack up.
Yeah, just to kind of we lose that fight. Now we know what we need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
For the next fight. But good thing we had.
That's kind of like it prepares you for the next guy who's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So you know what to do, what not to do.
Exactly. So
You know what I'm
now everybody that doubted me and underestimated me, they all know that I can wrestle now, and I can grapple.
Gotcha.
So next fight I get, they ain't got nothing to say.
What is your average fight stage you like to fight per year? Like, how many fights you like to fight a year?
I like 3 fights a year, and then it also depends on, injuries.
Mm-hmm.
That can occur. So for me, I like 3 fights a year, like show notice, or get like 2 fights, like full camp, and then the last one, maybe like a show notice.
Mm.
What's
some of the challenges in the UFC that you face as an up and coming newcomer, like a up and coming guy that is trying to break the top 10 rankings? What would you say some of the challenges are? Because it's other MMA guys out there, amateur, trying to get to the UFC, and that's some of their goals as well. So what's some of the challenges you would say?
Some of the challenges I face is, remember I told you I took my MMA career like very serious.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I knew like when I got to the UFC, it was gonna be tougher. Like the challenge was gonna be tougher than like the amateur career.
Mm-hmm.
But like I already knew I can compete in the UFC. Like I already knew like I belong here, just because I took my what's it called, MMA. What's it called? What's that word I'm looking for? What's that word I'm looking for? Goddamn. My amateur career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that as a pro. So like when I got to the UFC, I already knew I belonged here. I
Right.
took the fight on 4-day notice, like against a guy that's like top top,
Mm-hmm.
top 10 guys overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew I can compete in the UFC. It was nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some guys when they get in the UFC they get starstruck because they're like, oh, I already made it to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't look at it like that because if you're not exciting, if you're not selling nothing,
Mm-hmm.
like you're not gonna last.
No, not
So
at all.
yeah, just because you make it in don't mean you won't get fired the next day.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about the UFC, I noticed too, is about personality and who's selling, who's putting money in the seats.
Yeah,
Like who wants to see, because a part of it is the fight. You do got to be damn good, but also
yeah,
like, what's your personality like? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
exactly.
I noticed that there's some great fighters in the UFC, but if they don't have that catchy,
Yeah,
you know, um, that
exactly.
catchy, which brings me about. I have two more questions for you. One of them is, why do you think in sports, especially like let's take your sport.
Yeah,
Every sport has their villain.
yeah.
What is your opinion or take on why does everybody have like for in the MMA world it would be, let's say it's people, John Jones, one of my favorite, shout out John Jones, one of my
Yeah,
favorite,
shout out to John Jones, go.
GOAT, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, champ. But why do you think people want to be negative and hate on someone who is at the freaking the Black Jordan of their craft? You know what I mean? The reason why I bring
Man.
that up because I'm one to say that I don't give a shit what someone does outside of their sport.
Yeah.
Like what you do outside the basketball court, outside the cage, I give two shits of what you do.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna hate on another man or woman if they're great at their craft. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I never
what is your
understood
take
that.
on that? Like everybody, oh, he or she is arrogant or he, who cares?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to know what is a person's take on why do people hate on people who are at the top of their craft?
Man, on that take, I feel like, you're going to have, people that's going to hate on you. You're going to have jealousy. People going to envy you. Because everybody, want what you got,
Mm-hmm.
So, they want that the opportunities you got,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's going to have them, hate on you because they want what you got. So I don't know. I never understood why people hate on other people like that. To
Yeah.
this day, I never understand.
Never.
But
I'm like,
it's
dude, like people hate on LeBron. Shout out LeBron.
yeah,
Like, dude could do anything. Oh, he's this or that. Like, bro, it's LeBron James. Like when
that's
he
what
when
I'm
he's done
saying,
his last 2-3 years, however long he goes, that's it. It's a wrap.
man.
There'll be
People,
another LeBron James to break records and stuff.
nah, they
My
won't.
point is, why do we hate on people when they're doing good or when they're trying to be successful at what they do
Man, it's like I'm
instead of
trying
show
to do the
love?
same thing you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm.
Like we all in
I'm
the
trying to
same
pick. I'm
boat.
trying to pick people's brains. Like, what do I need to do to get to here? What do I need to do not to do? What tell me the do's and don'ts of what I need to do. That's how I look at life. I don't
But
look at it as like,
that's kind of like in every sport.
yeah, that's why I thought I'd ask that question.
Yeah, every sport is gonna have guys like that.
Yeah.
It don't matter what sport it is. You're gonna have. It be your own teammate,
Yeah,
honestly.
trust me, I know.
It be your own that
Yeah,
trying to get what you at and that's gonna envy you.
Yeah.
It's
you
I
got
guess
when you see it and feel it, you got to get away from it ASAP.
yeah, for sure you got to. So I
Because
never
you don't want to be,
understood that.
it'll mess you up on your journey.
Man,
My last question for you, my man, is what is your why? Everybody I can have come on the couch, ask what is their why. So what is your why?
what you mean by
So like for instance, your why could be anything. So my why is I love to get people better for their sports. When it comes to training, I used to play basketball overseas and stuff. Now I transitioned out of that to training, sports performance training, basketball training, whatever, football training, baseball, whatever. So now my goal is to get you in the weight room. How do I get you stronger, more explosive for your next fight? How do I get you more cardio, more anaerobic, whatever the case may be? How do I get Dave ready for this next fight against this
Yeah.
grappler? Because he gonna lay on your ass. Or how do I get you better? How do I get your more pop behind your punch? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's where I come in at. Feel me?
yeah,
At first it was use basketball as a hustle to get money to make money to put food on the table and experience different
yeah.
countries. So like every your why is always gonna change. So like,
Right.
what is your why at this time at 25 years old? What is Dave Onama's why?
Man, my why is I do this for for my people back home, my family, my friends, everybody that looked up to me.
Mm,
Mostly like for the kids, because a lot of kids that actually like follow like what I do now, like the UFC,
mm,
and Yeah, so I'm doing it like just for like the community, the kids, because I want I want the better. I want to give the kids a better example, in the sport,
Hmm.
not just in sport, kind of just in life in general.
Right.
Like if you just focus on one thing and you have that discipline, you can make it far in life. And it's like I can't mess up because there's so many people out there that knows me and
Hmm.
like support what I do. And my thing is I can't mess up because the little kid need people like this, need people
Facts.
like me, to motivate them and direct them
Right.
like in a different in the right way
Hmm.
because not a lot of kids have people like that they follow.
Right.
So my thing is doing it for the kids, man. Especially this new generation, man. Like kids need somebody like that
Hmm.
that can direct them, the right way.
I agree.
So my thing is honestly, you know, it's for the community and the kids that look up to me, and just give them a better example, in life.
My man.
Yeah. So
Well, man, I appreciate your time, man. Appreciate you coming out to the couch once again.
for sure.
Taking time out your busy day. And I want you guys to like, subscribe, share this, and stay tuned for the next episode. Couch Confessions. We out.
Right on.